It was the Adam Stern Show in Phoenix, Arizona, as the squad from up north took down the United States, but today missed out on in 20 years of World Baseball Classic action. Canadian manager
changes too, Tyler. When you look at the Canadian lineup, you see Julian has slid from the leadoff spot.
As the 8-hole hitter, he's been bumped all the way up to the 5 spot, and here
once he gets settled in.
And the lefty kicks and deals his first pitch at 3:08 in the afternoon for 6 days from here on Bithorn Stadium in San Juan, as Otto Lopez goes after the second pitch and fouls it away. Have done more than enough work offensively in their couple of wins, but obviously, Brian, you would love to see national team Moinello into the line. It's 2-2 in tight on Lopez, and 3 balls and 2 strikes. You're hoping you'll see more of that today if you're earning wit.
We saw those in between.
3-2, Lopez back up the middle, a leadoff single on the 7th pitch of the first at bat of Wednesday afternoon, and Lopez is on to get it. Classic, and again got drilled yesterday by a pitch. We got a pitch clock violation 2 in a row, and here comes Mesa, who is going to have a conversation with our home plate umpire.
Let's see how he reacts here. If he's
now we're ready to go. 2-0 pitch. Moinello misses just barely there. His first hit.
In between the legs from the catcher. But the reason why is because sometimes a catcher will give you that pitch well in advance, right?
He's joking around with his teammates, and he said he's just focused. The stadium could be falling down around him, and he would be focused on his next pitch. But he seems a little rattled here as he issues
these little things, man. We talk about every out, how important it is. And if it's the first thing, you don't want to walk away from this game. Think
Fukuoka SoftBank Hawks in the Pacific League in Japan. Livan Moinello had a better than 4-1 strikeout to walkout situation to start a game. Tyler O'Neill ropes one foul. It's 1-2.
Last night against Puerto Rico, down 2 strikes.
His first batter of Wednesday afternoon, the 1-2 is down to O'Neill. Tyler O'Neill has been so terrifically patient throughout this World Baseball Classic. 2-2, and Moinello's got his first strikeout as he blows away O'Neill. 1 gone in the first. So 1 away, and the runners are going, and Moinello now has Lopez hung up between 2nd and 3rd, and Canada runs into an out on the base paths. But we're going to get a Tomoya Ishiyama, our second base umpire, will confer with his construction call. Canada's fans are opportunity to jump in front. The guy who's been hitting the ball very hard, Abraham Toro, swings at the first pitch and pops it up. Moncada will track this one and put it away in foul ground. Big out against Raymond Burgos. The first pitch is there for a strike to him. And Ryan, the swings and momentum in this inning, the long thing here. 1-1 on Casey.
With all that adversity right here and put up a 0.
Casey swings and can't get the 1-1, and he's down to the count.
And I tell you what, this is such a tough matchup for
on the Marlins prospect. Uneven.
Good job laying off that pitch.
Batting just .094 against Cuban pitching, and Casey took that one right off the end.
These offerings.
And Casey walks. Second free pass of the inning, issued by
one of the toughest lefties. He's able to grind out that walk. Now all of a sudden, look at this, 23 pitches.
Yeah. Lopez at 3rd, Naylor at 2nd, and Casey at 1st. Down to the count here, 0-2. Really a 20-minute first inning to get this game of a crazy top of the first, 0-2. Foul ball knocks the mask off of Perez.
And I got a pitch you could handle there too.
Nello ready again. Davidson high in the air on the infield. Moncada, with the wind always playing a factor, calmly puts it away in the composure of Livan Moinello. A couple of pitch clock violations on Livan Moinello, an obstruction call. That was certainly the right call on Yoan Moncada.
And the world on his shoulders right now to try and navigate through this Cuban lineup.
He goes to work against Alexander Vargas to start.
Well, Tyler, we've talked a lot about this Canadian team up against this stud play. Looms large right now against Canada.
2 balls and 2 strikes, and talking with Ramon Mesa pregame today as Quantrill kicks and deals, and it's 3-2. He said, you know, we have seen 3-2. Vargas clubs one to right. O'Neal got a good jump on it. Leaping, he pulls it in on the warning track for out number 1. Take a look at that start on Mesa as Vargas is retired on the flyout.
Yeah, you mentioned some of the changes. You see Vargas at the top of the line. How does he induce that weak contact? And already you can see him get to 2 strikes quickly, but going nowhere near the strike zone.
102 miles an hour, so anything but soft contact there, but Quantrill bounces back from the first pitch ball to Moncada. It's 1-1.
And you look at it, he can be unpredictable too. Any pitch in any count. But speaking of counts, this is what's really hurt him the last couple of years. Talking batting average against when he's behind the count.
Even here, 2 balls and 2 strikes on Moncada.
Behind 2-1s, 3-1s, that's where you're going to get burned.
It's a 3-2 count on Moncada, so already 3-2 on the way from the righty. He gets Moncada swinging and missing, so 2 straight.
Right-handed power hitter, playing first base.
Speaking of right-handed power hitters, here's Ariel Martinez.
And just look back to, then all of a sudden you're asked to come pitch for Team Canada in a do-or-die game.
Loops one to right. That'll get down. And it is the first knock of the game for Cuba.
Just back, getting in some good counts, find that rhythm early.
And here is the veteran and always dangerous bat of Alfredo Despaigne. He bounces one over to third, where Toro will play it on the good hop, and that'll bring the inning to a close. Good start to this one for Cal Quantrill. We'll go to the second, scoreless in San catcher, one of 3 lefty bats in the lineup, also a switch hitter with Abraham Toro, and in a run. Lifts this one in the air to shallow center. Noel Santos' long run in is there to make the grab.
And he becomes unhittable.
Livan Moinello went to Nippon Professional, squares off here with the Athletics' Denzel Clark, who snaps that bat at the handle and will stay alive to see another pitch. Much is back on Friday, 38 for strikes from Moinello, and he gets Denzel Clark swinging here, and now he's starting to find that groove.
Yeah, really.
Scenario today for Herman Mesa is to get Moinello for 4, maybe 5 innings. Then you can go to Rodriguez. The chance that we see different arms out of that Cuba bullpen. They've pitched well, obviously, but if you're a hitter, you would love to get a look at anybody who is not one of them.
Yeah, everyone, from the pitcher to the hitter, everyone's kind of in that nice rhythm. Julian looking down, not making that eye contact. It won't matter anyway. He's going to be getting up to first base. But for Tripp Gibson, he's used to having.
Now it's Otto Lopez's turn. Bouncer over to third. Yohan Moncada will throw him out, and that'll do it for Canada in the second. 1 on with 2 out. You just notice another name every single time it goes up.
Yeah.
Man, yeah, if that guy was on this team, if that guy was on this team, that is a superstar roster if you could build it with everybody. They did 3 years ago. The first baseman, Yoel Jung-hoo, leading things off. You saw his prodigious numbers from the Cuban National Series in 2025.
This Colombian team, this Cuban team, being reclusive and having that lack of transparency.
It's just with his time, and yeah, it is really interesting to see. I remember covering a U18 Baseball World Cup actually in Canada, not interested in having a conversation. And, this has been such an era of change for so long. As the 3-2, Yankee ropes it, and Matt Davidson, first time in at first base as a starter, no problem on the quick reaction.
About him and getting settled in.
Edi Cape serves on out toward right center, and Tyler O'Neill cutting over will put it away.
And trying to get some of the big leagues, signing a minor league deal with the Texas Rangers. Shape, however, you want to show up and perform, and that can be tough when it takes that long to get through.
It's empty. Takes that one on the outside part of the plate, and it's 1-2.
For the Seattle Seahawks.
How about the Dunedin Blue Jays hat he had on, by the way? Day number
3, they are 0-2, couldn't get the offense going.
And here, some struggles early. 2 strikeouts.
Calm, pitch clock, you name it.
First pitch swinging. Josh Naylor is retired on the put out there by Alexander Vargas, 1 gone. And there was a time a couple of days ago where it seemed like that's how Cuba was going to go, as the first pitch misses upstairs to Tyler O'Neill. This pitch number 40. And O'Neill laces that one to left field. It's down for a base hit. Second hit of the day for Canada, and it comes from the big right fielder for the Baltimore Orioles.
Settle in, and this is what he does. It takes him just a couple of innings. He starts going through, especially second time through the lineup, you start seeing more of that bigger breaking ball.
0-1. Abraham Toro flips this one out, and it gets past the lunging Kape and into right field. Yiddy Kape, I think, he said the thing I like about him is that he gets better as the game goes along, and he gets better game after game. That was just a weird play. Only had one plate appearance against a lefty last year in the bigs. That double against the southpaw last night in Canada's through from second, and Toro from first. And that one will skip away from Perez, and everybody will move up. And now O'Neill flying around third base, and Moinello had not yet broken.
Possible right here, Tyler, in this count.
Chance to deliver. He goes after one at 92. All right. 3-2. Casey to right field. This will be deep enough to get the run in, presumably. Catch made out there by Guibert. Tagging at third. Here's O'Neill. Throw is offline. Tyler O'Neill scores. Owen Casey continues to deliver. Guibert was coming straight home with it. Now Matt Davidson in the air to center field. And Roel Santos will camp out under it to put it away. But Owen Casey drives in the first run of this game, and Canada strikes. Cuba's improbable run to the semis in 2023. A victory at the Tokyo Dome over Australia as 6. That was a really impressive rebound from struggles to start the 2023 class. The bottom half of the third inning with his team trailing 1-0. And going to work against Cal Quantrill, Ryan, who's retired 6. Ball and 2 strikes here as Quantrill kicks and deals. Perez will see another one. Cal Quantrill was the 8th with the Padres, the Rockies, Miami, Atlanta.
Not the typical sitting in a locker with your headphones on.
2-2 and a check swing. Perez able to hold up. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
Gave him a chance at the end of the year. They let him go.
3-2 on the ground, 2-2. One away. Well, Ryan, we know one of our participants enough of the math 3 years ago.
Oh, man.
Or I should put it this way. Anthony Orza had enough of the math 3 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Our
gonna pretend I do.
One away. Roel Santos takes ball 1. He saw a fantastic catch by Santos. Matchup tonight for Mexico and Italy. It's a bouncing ball over to second. 2 away. I will read directly from the MLB.com store. Loses. But Italy, the U.S. would go through with them. 1 game ahead of Mexico. But if Mexico wins that game and scores, Baseball Classic shocker would be dropped before the quarters. As we're back at the top of the order in Alexander Vargas. Will be, and vice versa. 0-2 pitch. Nice job by Vargas to lay off that one, but missed.
I'm curious here too. Has to stay unpredictable. You get plenty of that.
Vargas saying he foul tipped that pitch, but he did not. And he is down on.
And of course, Rydell Martinez, right? You talk about bridging that gap, and there's no team really in the Moinello, Rodriguez, back-to-back, the piggyback situation that can really make it tough on an offense due to the fact that the game stays the way it is. You see a Rydell Martinez coming in earlier than the 9th inning.
Leadoff man for Canada here in the top half of the 4th. A tiebreaker formula. It's just head-to-head here today. But one point that Ernie Witt made that was really good in the World Cup. They've played in the Pan Am games or Premier 12s. Bo Naylor goes down on strikes, 1 out. And obviously on the other side, for Cuba, that's games differently. You have to play games differently. You're, sometimes asked to do things that you don't ordinarily do, laying down a sacrifice bunt, stealing a base, doing whatever. International competition and then playing tournament-style baseball that you just don't in the regular season.
Yeah, and again, that can be that having to do the math on the day and making sure that's confirmed before you go into that game. We saw this with the Australian team and the Korean team. Korea knew they had to get.
And at bat, if he hits that 65 pitch first round limit, he can finish an at bat to go over 65. But he might.
As he got deeper into this game.
1-1, Julian foul. Ball and 2 straight. Moinello bounced back, didn't allow anything that inning. Julien serves this one to left center field. This could be extra bases as it gets down, and it splits Martinez and Santos. It is a 2-out double for Edouard Julien, and Canada is in business. And Rodriguez to take over. 3 2/3 from Moinello. 4 hits, 1 unearned.
Hey, he's pitched twice. He's gone 2 1/3 the first time out against Panama. And he knows how to do that.
Otto Lopez trying to deliver here with 2 outs. And Canada is now 0 for 5 with runners in scoring position. The 2-out double does no damage. And Canada and Cuba, whoever wins this game, will join Puerto Rico in the quarters and will match that record as Cal Quantrill gets a first pitch ground out. Ryan, Cal Quantrill's not even at 45. Canada with Martinez fighting this one off. He'll dunk it down into right field for a base hit. That is Cuba's first knock since the first inning, and that one was also a single.
To pitch him in last time, they're going to get back in there again.
Cuba's captain takes ball 1.
Well, that's the book.
1-0, grounds it left side. Lopez, Julien, Davidson, got them both. 2-3-4, Josh Naylor leading things off against Yariel Rodriguez, and a couple of guys whose teams squared off in the American. You know what he does rock are some amazing pregame jerseys. He went with a Jerome McGinley Hockey Canada throwback yesterday.
This WBC, different pair every game.
Rocking those Jordan 1 spikes here today. Yariel Rodriguez, of course, was not on the roster for the World Series last year for the Blue Jays, but was on that he cleared waivers outright. Nobody took a chance on him as Naylor tried to hold up there, unable to do so. And a first batter strike.
Deeper in this game.
Tyler O'Neill has scored the only run of this on Owen Casey's sac fly. 2019, they beat Cuba in the Pan Am games back in 2015. Tyler O'Neill was on that team. 1-2. O'Neill in the air, to right. Guibert is there, 2 away.
With the Blue Jays.
So 2 gone and the base is empty for Abraham Toro. Extra bases, couple of doubles and a triple. He's also walked a couple of times, and he crushes this one deep to right. Abraham Toro doubles the lead for Canada. It's 2-0 here in the top half of the 5th.
I'll tell you what, Abraham Toro has been red hot in this pool play. We talked about his ability to hit the ball the other way to left field. We saw him start to drive the ball into right field, but nothing bigger than that. Reaching the seats here on this final day. Up there, Canadians most in tournament history, but man, yeah, he is red hot. He's worked his way up the lineup.
And Canada sitting pretty right now with a 2-0 lead as Owen Casey waves and doesn't get a piece there. And as soon as Rodriguez heard that come off the bat, he knew it was gone. Who've been hanging out for every Canada game. The win over a couple of squads, the loss to